Good morning students. Today we study about the next topic, that is flower and parts of flowers and types of flowers. Flower, it is a modified condensed dwarf shoot which is specialized for sexual reproduction. It is characteristic feature of angiosperm plants. And the parts of the flower. The typical flower consists of the following parts: bracts and bracteoles, thalamus, and third, floral organs or parts. These floral organ or parts are calyx, corolla, androecium, and gynoecium. The androecium and gynoecium are also called as essential whorls of the flower because they have a role in reproduction, that is pollination, fertilization, which lead to the development of fruit and seeds from the flower. Bracts and bracteoles. Bract is a small leaf-like structure at the base of the flower. The floral buds are usually protected by bracts. Bracts are not always present in a flower. If a bract is present, the flower is described as bracteate flower, and if bract is absent, it is called ebracteate flower. When the bracts are present, they protect flower bud in the young stage. Sometimes small and thin bract-like structures are present on pedicel between the flower and the bract. These are called bracteoles. Means the bract-like structure present in between the pedicel, means the flower and the bract. It is called as bracteole. And flower having bracteole, it is called as bracteolate flower. And flower without bracteoles, it is called ebracteolate flower. Bracts are again modified into some structures. Foliaceous bract, leaf-like expanded green bract, is called foliaceous bract. It is present in phylum. Spathe, a large modified bract which encloses spadix inflorescence totally or partially. It may be leathery or woody. Example is musa or banana. Petaloid bracts, brightly colored petal-like bracts is known as petaloid bracts. They are present in Bougainvillea. Involucre, one or two whorls of green bracts that protect young inflorescence, is called involucre. It is present in Coriandrum. Epicalyx, whorl of bracteoles present below the calyx or outside the calyx. It is found in hibiscus. Scaly bracts, reduced membranous scale-like bracts seen in head inflorescence in sunflower. Glumes, the bracts found in the spikelet inflorescence are called glumes. They may be sterile or fertile glumes. Then thalamus. Thalamus is the short condensed floral axis with compressed nodes and internodes, from which all floral parts arise. It is the terminal part of the pedicel, also known as torus. Depend then the floral whorls or floral organs, calyx. It is the outermost whorl. The individual member of calyx are called sepals. Then corolla. It is composed of petals and it is second whorl. Androecium. It is the male reproductive part and third whorl consists of stamens. Gynoecium. It is the innermost whorl and it consists of pistil and it is female reproductive part. It shows carpels. Based on the role in reproduction, all four whorls are divided into two categories: accessory whorls and essential whorls. Accessory whorls, the calyx and corolla are not directly involved in the reproduction. Hence, they are described as non-essential or accessory whorls, while androecium and gynoecium are known as essential whorls because they have a direct role in reproduction, that is pollination and fertilization, which lead to development of fruit and seeds from the flowers. Then the types of flowers. Depending upon the insertion of gynoecium on thalamus with respect to other floral organs, the types are hypogynous, epigynous and perigynous. Hypogynous, when the thalamus is convex or elongated, the carpel occupied the topmost position on it. The other floral members, that is sepals, petals and stamen, are placed below the carpel or ovary. This mode of arrangement is called hypogyny and the flower is called hypogynous flower. The ovary in this is said to be superior. Example, hibiscus. Then perigynous. In this condition, the receptacle is flat or slightly cup-shaped. The carpels are situated at its center and other floral members are inserted on its margin of the cup. This mode of arrangement is called perigyny and the flower is called perigynous. In this case, the ovary is still described as half inferior or half superior. Example, pea plant, which is the member of family Fabaceae. Then epigyny, when the thalamus is cup-shaped and the lower part of ovary is situated at the bottom of the cup and also fused with the inner wall of thalamus. The other floral members appear to be inserted upon the ovary. This mode of arrangement is called epigyny. Then the flower is said to be epigynous and the ovary is said to be inferior. Such type of epigyny is found in sunflower. In many flowers, the thalamus is condensed and the internode are not seen clearly. But in some cases, thalamus is with elongated distinct floral internodes. Anthophore. This is the first elongated internode between the calyx and corolla. In between calyx and corolla there is a internode. This is called as anthophore. Example, Pennsylvania. Then androphore. It is the elongated internode between corolla and androecium. The internode which is present between corolla and androecium, it is called androphore. It is found in Gynandropsis. Then gynophore. It is the elongated internode between androecium and gynoecium. It is called gynophore. It is found in Caparis. Then next is gynandrophore. It is an elongated stalk-like part between non-essential and essential organs of the flower. It is equivalent to androphore. Means in gynandrophore, both androphore and gynophore are present in a flower. It is found in Passiflora flower, that is Krishnakamal. Then carpophore. It is a stalk-like connection present between the two carpels. It is formed due to expansion of the thalamus between the carpels. It is found in coriander, that is dhania. Then the perianth. It is in most monocot flower there is no difference between calyx and corolla. Therefore, they cannot be distinguished as separate whorls and called perianth. The individual members of perianth are known as tepals. The function of perianth leaves is to protect the inner part of the flower. In angiospermic flowers, the perianth exists in different forms according to the flower, can be described as climatus or aclimatus flower. Climatus flower. Perianth is present. The climatus flower are of two types, monoclimatus and diclimatus. In monoclimatus, the flowers have only one accessory whorl, that is perianth. Means when we cannot differentiate between calyx and corolla, that is only one accessory whorl is present, known as monoclimatus. Diclimatus, flowers are with perianth differentiated into calyx and corolla. They are arranged in two different whorls. The diclimatus is again divided into homoclimatus and heteroclimatus. The two whorls of the perianth or the perianth are similar and are not identified by different colors. It is called as homoclimatus. When we cannot differentiate between calyx and corolla, it is called as diclimatus. Homoclimatus. It is found in Michelia. Then heteroclimatus. The two whorls of perianth are dissimilar. Means we can differentiate it between calyx and corolla. The sepals are small and green, while the inner whorl, that is petal, they are brightly colored. Example, Hibiscus datura. The term tepal is used to describe perianth lobes which appear like petals. In most of the monocot tepals are present. Aclymatus. When the flowers have neither calyx nor corolla, perianth is absent and the flower appears naked, such flowers are called aclymatus flowers. Mostly the aclymatus flowers occur in Scythium inflorescens, that is euphorbia. In euphorbia, aclymatus flowers. Yesterday we see about the special type of inflorescence in which Scythium type, where the flower, male and female flowers are represented only by their stamen and carpel only. Other whorls are absent. This is all about the flower, parts of flower, types of flower and different terminal. Thank you.